Well, if you believe Herbert Simon, who has a Nobel, and I do believe them, he's argued that the work of managers, scientists, engineers, lawyers, the work that really kind of steers and shapes our society, its economy, its government organizations, that work is largely about making decisions and solving problems. It's worthwhile spending a little bit of time thinking about how we do this. And that's really what our class on management science is about. Basically solving problems, making decisions and solving problems. My name is Fred Easton. I'm a professor of operations and supply chain management at Syracuse University. I teach there every day, and this is a course that I developed quite some time ago. Back at, believe it or not, I think we started with Lotus 1, 2, 3. The key idea behind the course is that it's built around a spreadsheet. And in fact, sometimes we call it spreadsheet optimization. A little bit about my bio. I guess in my undergraduate days, I studied unusual combination, business, chemistry, and biology. Sort of had the back of my mind, I wanted to work in one of the health professions. But an energy utility interviewed me, and it sounded like a great deal to go to work for them for a while. So after 5 years later, and another degree, an MBA, I was kind of thinking maybe it was time to get back to my original goals. But in the process, I also applied to graduate school and ended up falling for the charms of Seattle. So my PhD is in operations management from the University of Washington. I left there and came to Syracuse University, where I've been pretty much ever since, working my way through the ranks. My research is primarily in resource management, largely in the service sector, workforce scheduling and staffing, and we're finding lots of applications these days in healthcare. So that'll probably permeate some of our discussions as we go through the class. Let me sort of give you a broad outline of what we'll be doing this semester. I mentioned that we have that the course is built around spreadsheets. So we're going to be looking at Lotus, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Microsoft Excel. And we're up to the 2013 version in the stuff that we're using with this class, but I think maybe by the time it lands on your desk, you'll be able to use the 2016 version of Office. So there might be some minor differences, but I don't think they'll be too significant. We'll guide you through it. Now, all of us are spreadsheet experts, I'll bet, but I'll show you, hopefully, a couple of things that you haven't seen before, some things to do with Excel. So woven into most of our class meetings will be a couple of new Excel features. For those of you that don't feel quite as comfortable with it, we've got a kind of a bit of an orientation and some training that you can sort of do offline to get yourself up to speed. Almost everybody survives the course. We'll take you through some ad hoc solution methodologies first, and then dive into the kind of the workhorse of our course, at least for solution methodologies. That's Excel Solver. And you'll quickly discover that solving these problems, for the most part, isn't the big deal. The big deal, the real challenge, is really more of an art form, and that's translating a problem that you think you understand into something that your spreadsheet model can understand. Translating it into an algebraic series of constraints, equations, formulations. Will be really what we're going to try. That'll be where we're going to develop proficiency with modeling for decision-making purposes. We'll look at linear programs, network linear programs, integer programs, nonlinear programs, goal programs, multi-objective programs, and get a great sense of these. We'll find applications that might be familiar to you and others that you may not have encountered before as a means of improving your decision making. We'll look at tools that can help you compare dissimilar units in your organization to maybe get a sense of who's using resources effectively and who can maybe benefit from what others have learned in that regard. I think we conclude with a little study of weighting, something that we're all quite proficient at, it seems. So that's pretty much the roadmap of where we're going. It's one of my favorite subjects. I like it a lot, and I hope by the end of this you do as well.